You didn't really want that job anyway. The relationship was probably going to fail. You weren't that rude. They were just being sensitive. These are the stories you tell yourself. And here's the strange part. You believe every single one of them. You are lying to yourself right now. Not occasionally, not when you're stressed. Constantly, automatically, without even knowing it's happening. And the reason isn't weakness or delusion. It's one of the most sophisticated survival systems your brain has ever built. Psychologists call it self-deception. But that word makes it sound like a flaw. It isn't. It's a feature. And to understand why your brain does this, you have to go back a very long time. Your ancestors lived in small, tight social groups where reputation was everything. Being trusted meant being fed. Being liked meant being protected. Being seen as competent and loyal wasn't about ego. It was about survival. And the easiest way to convince others you were all of those things was to genuinely believe it yourself. Robert Trivers, the evolutionary biologist at Rutgers University, proposed something radical in the 1970s. He argued that self-deception didn't evolve by accident. It evolved because it makes you a better liar to other people. If you truly believe your own distortions, there's no hesitation in your voice, no micro-expression of guilt, no tell. You broadcast confidence because you feel it. And that confidence, however unfounded, is what wins the room. Your brain learned this trick long before language existed, long before you had words for it. But it doesn't stop there. In 1988, psychologist Shelley Taylor at UCLA introduced the concept of positive illusions, the idea that most mentally healthy people hold mildly inflated views of themselves, their control over events, and their future prospects. Not delusional, just slightly rosier than reality. And here's what her research found. People without these illusions, people who saw themselves with perfect accuracy, were more likely to be depressed. Your brain's small distortions aren't noise, they're medicine. Think about the last time something went wrong. A project that flopped. A conversation that crashed. What did your brain do first? It found a reason that wasn't entirely your fault. The timing was bad. The other person was difficult. You didn't have enough information. This is what psychologists call the self-serving bias, and it runs so deep that most people cannot turn it off even when they try. Dan Ariely, the behavioral economist at Duke University, spent years studying how people rationalize dishonest behavior. What he found was startling. People don't think of themselves as liars. They think of themselves as people who sometimes bend the rules for good reasons. The lie isn't in the action. The lie is in the story told afterward. And your brain is an extraordinarily gifted storyteller. It stitches together a version of events that keeps you as the reasonable protagonist. It edits out the moments of selfishness. It amplifies the parts where you were wronged. It runs this edit every single time, so fast you never see the raw footage. Psychologist Timothy Wilson at the University of Virginia calls this the adaptive unconscious, the vast, silent machinery of the mind that makes decisions and constructs narratives before your conscious awareness ever gets a look in. You don't lie to yourself because you're weak. You lie to yourself because your conscious mind is almost always the last to know. So what do you do with this? You can't opt out. The system runs whether you want it to or not. But you can develop what researchers call reflective awareness, the habit of pausing after you've told yourself a story and asking, is this what happened, or is this what I needed to happen? That pause is everything. Tonight, you'll tell yourself a story about today, about why something went wrong, or didn't, or almost did. And your brain will make you the most sensible person in that story. Just know, that version isn't the whole truth. It's the version you needed to survive, which, when you think about it, is exactly what your ancestors needed too.